Imagine the scale of what's possible by an actor or an actress could at least be a meter wide. I think the cinema only uses a precious 2 or 3 centimeters in that meter. The whole possibility of what they are as a person, not only related to the roles they play, to the range, and of course I'm talking about good actors and actresses, of what is possible, seems to be infinitely more than they get used for. So I think if cinema is to continue in any really serviceable way, it has to very seriously readdress itself to the position of the actor. Then maybe my last tyranny, which is very difficult to understand, we have to get rid of this thing. This thing has to go. This is a very, very stupid object. She's not stupid, but the camera is, because all the camera does is simply reproduce what you put in front of it. It's a form of mimesis. It is entirely uncreative, however clever the camera operator. And that's, I think, what Eisenstein meant by the notion of the total recreation from ground zero of the notion of the animated theory is just as the old technology dies, a new one comes up. And I don't have to tell you, just as cinema was dying at this magic date I've already mentioned of 1983, the notion finally of the new media of television coming up and superseding and starting the whole phenomenon all over again. What is also happening, of course, is these revolutions. I think I've given you enough information to certainly suggest that there is a massive change happening in cinema, which is related to entire ways in which we now live and our notions of expectation. I would argue now the cinema has lost its place as the prime communicator of generally thought to be ideas about morals and civilization and the way we've lived. And we've handed over, or cinema has handed over that responsibility to television, and already television, broadcast television, has lost that remit. So we have to find ways and means to try and generate again that particular human desire, which I'm sure all of us feel. It was true about the ancient Greeks, it was true about the Romans, to the beginnings of a new aesthetic technology. And there are, as you know, hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of people now beginning to participate. And I suspect there are a lot of people with vivid imaginations who are participating in this particular space where we are now. What is my reaction then? What can I put back that's positive? Well, it is curious that some of the funding activity now of cinema, or some sort of form, I suppose, post-cinema organization, I don't think we've got any names for it yet. Some people have called it meta-cinema. Some people are calling it zinema, spelling cinema with a Z. Maybe there's always a way a new technology takes some time to find actually a satisfactory name, but it has to have certain characteristics. And I sincerely believe the two have already been mentioned. Some form of interactivity. So you, with that zapper button on the 31st of September 1983, have some say in the matter of what you see. And also the notion that cinema rarely now stands on its own, and it has to be associated with other cultural communication forms. So some notion of that old Wagnerian idea of the total artwork, which I suppose we conveniently simply call multimedia.